Many of the millennials, dreamers, undocumented citizens, and I call them citizens because they contribute to this country.
Illegal immigration. We know it's one of the hottest button issues in this campaign and sure to be just as controversial on Election Day. And now President Obama addressing the issue of illegal immigrants actually casting votes. Take a listen.
Many of the millennials, dreamers, undocumented citizens, and I call them citizens because they contribute to this country, are fearful of voting. So if I vote, will immigration know where I live? Will they come for my family and deport us?
Not true.
Okay.
And the reason is, first of all, when you vote, you are a citizen yourself, and there is not a situation where the voting rolls somehow are transferred over and people start investigating, etc. The sanctity of the vote is strictly confidential.
I can't believe I heard what I heard. The president's even questioning whether the person who is an illegal is voting, outside of reminding people that if you're a citizen, you vote. But it's very clear that the question who's being asked was about illegals voting and afraid that they might be reported to border security. You're illegal. You cannot vote. And the President of the United States is saying, don't worry, no one will be spying on you, catching you. When maybe, whether you're for the president, against the president, whether you're pro-immigration reform, anti-immigration reform, you are ignoring the fact that you've been questioned about illegal voting, which you can't do. Why? Because you're not a citizen of this country.
I come from Chicago, so I want to be honest. It's not as if it's just Republicans who have monkeyed around with elections in the past. Sometimes Democrats have too. You know, whenever people are in power, they have this tendency to try to, tilt things in their direction.
The Obama administration blocking a law requiring Texas residents to show photo ID before voting. They say it could disenfranchise hundreds of thousands of Hispanics. And Texas Governor Rick Perry had this to say about the ruling.
Well, I think this is another example of the federal government impinging upon the rights of the states to decide the issues about how they're going to oversee and keep fraud from going on in the voter process. I mean, that's what this issue is about. We know for a fact that there has been fraud involved in our voting process through the years, and having a voter ID is one of the ways to put a stop to that.
Now a federal court in Washington will decide whether Texas as well as South Carolina will be allowed to enforce its new voter photo ID requirements. Other states do have similar laws.
Joining me now to discuss, Troy Slayton, Mark Alderman, and Gina Loudon. You know, it's interesting, in the top 10 states where illegal immigrants are the largest bulk of workers, 7 of them are either Democratic or swing states, including number 1, Nevada, Gina, where we know that the headlines are probably going to be that Hispanics make or break this election there. Are you concerned about how many illegal immigrants may be casting votes there?
Well, of course I am, Charles. I think the message that is going to our children here is so damaging psychologically. If you can't win fair and square, just cheat or steal the votes necessary. Now we know that their motive all the way along on illegal immigration and even on the refugee crisis has never been a humanitarian one, Charles. This is about gaining more money and power and using vulnerable people in a vulnerable situation to do it.